Hey, what's up, guys? I'm sitting here with As the Crow Flies Hiking. Mark goes hiking. No, As the Crow Flies Hiking. Yeah. And Mark goes hiking. I don't know why I got those confused for a second. As the Mark goes hiking, and Crow goes hiking. Yeah, there we go. I want to take a few minutes to talk about camp shoes. Now, camp shoes, I would say are probably a luxury item. Mostly, I'd put that in that category. Yeah. But it is nice to just get something different on your feet. Yeah. I mean, honestly, my Lone Peaks, they slide right on, slide right off. So it's not really a convenience factor. I think for me, it's just getting something different on my feet. Just a different feel, let them air out a little bit.
And stink factor.
Oh, yeah, they do stink. Especially when it gets wet and it rains. Man, they get awful, awful. But do you wear them kind of the same reason? Is that why you do camp shoes?
I do a lot of times. It really depends on the mile. There's somewhere like at mileage. If I'm doing above like 12 or 13 mile days, probably not going to take them. Yeah. And I'll just unleash my laces and let them air out that way because I just don't want the weight.
Yep. That's kind of where I'm at too. Yeah. I think I've tried a lot of different camp shoes, and I've gone the cheap route, and I've gone the more expensive route. And so I want to take some time on this video to talk about different style camp shoes. Mm-hmm. And the pros and cons. I know you have a couple different pair. I've got a few different pair. So I'm going to start off with the first kind I tried, and that was just the $10 Walmart Croc. These are really, really lightweight. I don't know the ounces on them, but they are probably one of the lighter ones I have here. They're really nice because they're all rubber or plastic, rubber, whatever. If they get wet, they dry off really fast. Yeah. They fit kind of like a shoe, so you could walk around in them and really not have any issues. They've got all the holes in them, so they breathe really nicely. You could probably wear these into the water, but without the back strap, that would be a little difficult. Yep. So I think a pro of these is they're actually pretty lightweight. If they get wet, they dry off fast, so that's really nice. They're airy, super easy to put on. But to me, the con is you couldn't go jumping in the lake with them. I think the other con for me is they're not compact at all.
That was going to be mine too. It's just so bulky. Like I started 20 years with those, the ones with the strap, and then I'd take a carabiner and put them on the outside of my pack. But it just got to be like not aesthetically pleasing either. Just having those to bounce up against your pack all day.
And that gets annoying.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really does.
Yeah.
So I think a good starting one, but I think you will progress to something else. Mm-hmm. Let's go to one of yours. What do you have?
Well, so after the Crocs, I went with after the Crocs, I went with these $5. I mean, literally, these were less shipping than they cost for
that's sweet.
The shoe. They're like $5 off of a Chinese site, and I did a little review on them. But I mean, they're just airy. They do have a nice harder bottom like the Crocs. So I have used these a lot of times. But again, they are compactable, but still not. Oh, sorry.
I got you.
They are compactable, but they're still a little bulky.
They're kind of like a almost like between a soft rubber and a packing foam.
Yeah.
I would say these are about the same. These might be a touch heavier than the Croc. Feel that? If not, they're about the same. Yeah. They might just kind of weigh out differently how they're designed, but probably perfect for water. I mean, this is great.
Yeah, and cheap.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, so my step 2 was 97-cent sandals from Walmart. They're not as light as you think. I mean, this is Graham Weenie stuff here.
Right.
I mean, they're not heavy by any means, but they're not. I think the Croc is lighter than this.
I think so.
But convenience factor, huge. That's about it.
Yeah.
You have a camp shoe, you put something else on, your feet will air out. But that's about it. Here's the negatives on these. One, they're really not that comfortable to me.
I don't like stuff between my toes.
That doesn't bother me, but it's these straps right here. They dig in on the bottom of my feet. But for a camp shoe, it's not a big deal because I'm not really walking around, just hanging out. There's 2 negatives for these. Okay, 3. If it's raining or if it's wet, it's nice because you're not getting another shoe all wet, but your feet slide around like crazy in them, and that's kind of dangerous for rolling your ankles.
Can't really do a lot of walking in these.
No, especially when they get wet. Secondly, I had these in Wisconsin when I went with Miyagi and his daughter, and I tried to go into one of those little lakes, and it's all mucky. It's like, the lily pads all over when you're getting in, so it's all muck. Instantly, they went down, and the thong just popped right out because it just suctioned in.
I hate when my thong pops out.
I do too. It's awful, especially when you're laying out on the beach. It's terrible. But it would but these would pop right out. So they became utterly worthless for any kind of water shoe. And then the last thing, here's the thing, you're backpacking. So this is kind of uppity stuff, I guess, but your feet would just get completely dirty. You know, so if you're just trying to stay a little bit clean and kind of wipe things down, your feet are just going to get totally dirty in these. Yeah. Let's do what I upgraded to. Okay. And I actually hike in these sometimes. These are the Xero Sandals, and not really any negatives. They're a little heavier, but not real heavy. They weigh just over 6 ounces each. And then, you know, when they do get wet, you'll slide around a little bit, but you've got the back strap and you got plenty of straps on these. They're actually really comfortable.
A lot of people hike in those.
I've hiked in them. I've done a 20-mile loop in these. Yeah. I'm not going to keep doing that because I've got 41-year-old knees, and that's just stupid. I have zero complaints about these. The only thing is, this is where it adds weight. So, I mean, you're talking about 13 ounces for both of these. So if I'm going to do bigger miles, these aren't coming with me. They're great to wear in the water. I just wore these in the lake on a trip I just recently went on, and they were perfect. Your feet will slide a little bit, but and your feet will get dirty, but no real complaints. Have you ever tried anything like this?
I haven't tried those, but I like them. I've seen a lot of people do them.
Good option. They're expensive. They're like 80 or 90 bucks. Ooh. But these are like my daily sandal. So I would kind of wear these for everything, bumming around town, just at home. It's a good camp shoe. No real complaints. It's just they get a little heavy if you're doing bigger miles. You got one more pair.
Yeah, the other thing I went to, and I use these, if I'm taking camp shoes now, I use these. These are the Sequay water shoes because I use these for kayaking, and when they sent them to me, I really liked them. I like the fact that they have this cinch thing for laces, and it has a pretty good little sole, so they're a little heavy, but
not much more than the Xeros.
Not much more. And if I had to get, if I had a blowout with my Ultras, I could probably hike in these for a good little ways. They're fairly comfortable.
Yeah, they're grippy too.
Yeah, they got a grip on them.
Real grippy.
But for kayaking and anything in the water, the Sequay shoes, and they're not super cheap, but they're like $20, $25.
I'd say that's pretty cheap.
And they have that little loop on the back, so if you just put a carabiner, you can hold them. But I keep them in a little bag, and I just attach the bag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really like them. All
right, well, these ones you might like even for your long trips. I just picked these up. These are Expedition equipment. It has that, what is this? It's kind of like that grippy shingle-like bottom.
Yeah, shingle. I was thinking like a roof shingle almost.
Yeah, yep, like a tar papers type of thing. And then it's down on top. I mean, these things compact, which is great. And together,
roll them up.
Together, they weigh just over 6 ounces.
Oh, that's really good.
Like just a hair over. And that's pretty dang good. That's really good. And I see really nothing but pros in these. I think if it's really hot, maybe they could get a little warm. Yeah. Like in the weather we're in right now, it's going to be 90 degrees and it's already super humid. Yeah. That could be a little hot. Maybe if you keep your sock on, it'd be all right. But
I really like them, especially for winter with that down on there.
Yeah, if it's wintertime or just colder weather, this is perfect because you could wear them while you sleep as well. And it gives you a little extra warmth if you want, or if you're a cold sleeper. They fold up really tight. I think a couple negatives. Okay. We're in Kentucky right now. It's a lot of sandstone. And where we camp, there's a lot of rock and sandstone. I think it'll wear this out.
That abrasion would get them.
Yeah. The other thing, if it's wet, damp, I think you'll be fine because this seems nice and waterproof. But you have all this down.
Oh, on top, yeah.
Yeah.
You got some go through some weeds or something.
Or if it's raining. Yeah. Not good. Yeah. So I think for me, what I've discovered over time is there's not the perfect camp shoe for every scenario. Yeah. I think it's nice to have a few different kind of shoes depending on what you're doing. But anything else you want to add on camp shoes?
I would just say, as years go by, I'm using camp shoes less and less, unless I'm basically car camping or I'm just doing a few miles in and out. And then I'll add some luxury items like a chair or camp shoes.
That's exactly where I've been too. But I love having the options. So I hope this video was helpful for you, just to see, our take on different styles of camp shoes and the pros and cons of some of them. I think my biggest advice was have a few different options for different purposes. And I think that's it. But hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for viewing, guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.